we need to talk about how too many of these institutions are all up in our business, okay? Because tell me why I just went to the chiropractor and they're like, hey, we need you to fill out like your paperwork. I don't know. I'm like, what? I just started coming here like a month ago. What do you mean I have to fill out this paperwork again? And they're like, yeah, you have to fill it out like every year. So I'm like, okay, maybe because it's a physical year just started. I don't know. Anyway, the paperwork is asking me like, which then I realized, wait, I actually haven't filled this out. Paperwork is asking me like my sexual orientation, my gender, like what do I classify as? Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. But my sexual orientation, like, why do you need to know that? The fuck is that any of your business? What's your income? How much do you make a month? What's your job? I put 0, not available. The fuck? Get out of my business. What the fuck do you need to know that for? And then it's like, person responsible for the bill. I'm like, insurance for Alexandra Torres. I'm not paying for this. Insurance is paying for this. And why the fuck do you need to know? Literally, I handed it to him. He was like, I like didn't even fill out that section in the first place. And he's like, I need you to fill it all out. I'm like, I did. So then when I like finished, he's like, let me look at it. And I'm like, okay. And I went, you can look at it. You ain't going to find out any information. And he was like, looks at it. And he's like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. Like, the fuck do you need all this information for? I don't need to tell you my business. The bills are getting paid. The chiropractor bill is getting paid. Anytime I go to anywhere, it gets paid. Don't worry about it. Why the fuck do you need to know what my monthly income is, how much I'm bringing in, who's going to pay for this bit? Shut up. It's getting covered. Also, when I say institutions, because tell me why. I was a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, as you guys know. And recently, I've been getting emails from them because I was on their email list. And I was like, damn, I need to unsubscribe to this. But there was no option for me to unsubscribe. I couldn't find it in the email. So I've been getting this for years. Never once have I gotten like a personal email. It's always been a newsletter, right? Tell me why literally the next day after I was like, damn, I wish I could unsubscribe to this email. I got a personal email. Hi, this is... I won't name her name, from Markham Woods Church, where I used to go. Updating the directory. I just need to know if you're still at this address and if this is still your phone number. And I was like, oh my God, look at the Lord sending me someone to be like, get me off this list. And I said, no, actually, I no longer reside in Florida. I'm actually in California. So if you could just remove me from the email list, I would greatly appreciate it. So when she comes back, okay, that's fine. We can remove you from the email list. But as a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, we need to know where you are, what you're doing, where you're like, what's your new church? What are your whereabouts? Excuse me, you cult? No. Why do all these people want to be all up in my fucking business? So I could have obviously easily ignored it. But no, I wrote back and I said, hey girl, actually you don't need to know that information. I no longer am a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church at all. I no longer associate with the religion. So you don't got to worry about it, girly pop. Just remove me as a member as well, if that's what you need to do. And she was like, oh, and I'm sure it's like this little old lady sitting in the office, like sending all these emails. And she's like, oh, okay, we'll remove you from the email and from the membership. But, you know, we're so saddened to hear about it. We hope you're doing well. Girl, I'm doing better than before. I've broken free from the shackles. I'm no longer tied down to the beliefs of religion that had me living in guilt and fearing for my life every day, thinking the world was going to end and not having me aspire to do anything because why? Who cares? It's the apocalypse. The apocalypse is coming, so I'm not going to do anything because what's the point? Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate her concern, but she don't got to worry about me. You don't got to worry about me, girly pop. You don't got to worry about me, okay? I don't know what it is. I think that if you grew up Christian, you end up leaving. Like, if you grew up religious, not necessarily Christian. If you grew up religious, you end up leaving the religion. And then if you grew up without religion, you tend to go to religion. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like a path of this life on earth is like you start out one way, you end up the other, just because duality, I guess, you know, duality, you gotta go through that stuff. But I really want to write back and be like, no, girl, don't feel bad for me. I've broken free from the shackles, free of the chains. My soul is saved because it is eternal. And I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to heaven or hell and following all these rules to make sure everything is right. I don't live in a fucking constant mental prison anymore. I'm not depressed anymore. I don't think that life is completely pointless anymore. Everything's actually way better. So thanks. Everybody get out of my business.